Kid Rock sat down for an interview with Tucker Carlson, and I found this part very interesting. He's talking about basically why he loves Donald Trump. So let's take a look, and then I'll react.
Sarah Palin asked him to, was friendly with her, and early, right when he got elected, he invited her to dinner and said, bring some interesting people. So she said she called me and Ted Nugent, and was like, hell yeah. Ended up there, we ended up becoming buddies and spent a lot of time on the golf course now, and really weird, get phone calls from him and stuff. It's just kind of mind-blowing.
What's he like to play golf with?
Awesome. So much fun.
Really? Why?
He just knows how to have fun. Doesn't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
You know, he's engaging. It's just, you're just cutting it up. Just open with politics. I mean, I was there with him one day when he ended the caliphate. He wanted to put out a tweet, and it was like, I don't like to speak out of school. I hope I'm not, but it said something like, he's like, tell him like, yeah, the tweet was, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, if you ever join the caliphate, and try to do this, you're going to be dead. He goes, what do you think? I go, awesome. I'm like, yeah, tweet that out. I was like, I can't add anything better than that. But then it comes out, and it's reworded and more political and like, a little politically correct. And I'm like, just being pretty, we're looking at maps. And I'm like, am I supposed to be like in on I make dirty records sometimes. I'm like, I do it here.
You didn't think you'd have a hand
What
in
do you think we should do about North Korea? I'm like, what? I don't think I'm qualified to answer this.
How does he, so you're still playing golf with him down in Florida?
Yeah.
How's he seem?
What's that?
How's he seem?
He seems great. After the election, it was, a little different there, but he's still the same guy. He sits down, he just cuts it up. Just starts cutting it up. It's just how sharp he is. It's incredible. And you can see now if you watch a Joe Biden interview and you watch a Trump interview, you're just like, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
And Trump, he speaks off the cuff. I understand what it's like. Sometimes you get it wrong.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. But I would way rather hear somebody come from here and get it wrong once in a while than see this contrived. Pretty much every politician until he came along at some level, everything was scripted. I mean, I've stood next to him in the White House and right next to him with the prepared notes and watch him read like one sentence and then just, let's go. And you're like, this is awesome.
Kid Rock. Kid, thank you. Great film. Do you like this legislation or do you hate it?
Like it.
You've been elected. It's been fighting for a long time.
That's why I liked him from the beginning. I said, he was my guy before he even got the nomination. A Rolling Stone. And since that day till now, just bullets coming at you, from every angle.
I find that very, very interesting, him describing why he loves Trump. Because notice, there was nothing there about like specific policies that Kid Rock cares deeply about, that Trump cares deeply about and delivered on. Like if you go back and ask any Bernie supporter from 2016 or 2020, why do you support Bernie Sanders? You will get snap answers that are like Medicare for all. He wants to give everybody health care. He wants to catch up to the rest of the developed world. It's an abomination that we have a private for-profit healthcare system. People go bankrupt trying to pay their medical bills. People can't afford their prescription drugs. Bernie wants to fix that. He's more committed than anybody. He's always been consistent on it. That's why I support Bernie Sanders. You will guaranteed policy answers from a Bernie supporter as, hey, why do you support Bernie? So in other words, it's ideological and it's based on real-world impact to improve people's lives. I mean, that was a pretty long answer there from Kid Rock. You didn't get anything specific about policy. So, as he talks, it dawns on you, why does he like him? Well, one thing is the interpersonal relationship, that Trump, he finds him very charming in an interpersonal sense. And by the way, I sincerely believe that every president has that capability, where when you're in the room with them and you talk to them, they are really great at communicating and making you feel special. And Obama had it. I think Biden has it. Trump has it. Bill Clinton obviously had it. Maybe the only exception here is George H.W. Bush, but even him, I'm sure he found a way to be, like monotone and charming, So that's one thing that almost every president has. So it's the interpersonal stuff that he likes. And then it's like the truthiness of Trump, the truthiness without the truth. because Trump is not all that well versed on policy, and he's wrong about so many things, and oftentimes when Trump talks, it sounds like the kid who's doing the book report who didn't read the book and he's just bullshitting his way through, but it comes across as authentic. And people, I think we're in that era. Like, people don't like the standard politician way of talking, where you're too scripted and too planned out, and you're plotting every word to be just right. People like more of the shoot from the cuff. And like he said, hey, as long as it comes from here, even if you're wrong, I'd rather take that over somebody who it's not coming from here and maybe it's right. And I think we're in the era of that right now. So that's another reason why he likes him. So the reasons for liking him, I mean, call it what it is, they're shitty reasons. They're just bad reasons. And on Trump's end, it's very clear to me, and it always has been, even though he postures as like, I'm against Hollywood, he's the ultimate star fucker. He really is. Like, he loves, and a lot of Republican voters are like this too. They go after the left. Stay in your lane if you're an actor. Don't talk about politics. And then it's like, we love Ronald Reagan, who was an actor. Tee-hee-hee. We love Donald Trump, who was a celebrity beforehand. Tee-hee-hee. It's like, there's massive hypocrisy and contradiction there. And it should be slightly concerning to everybody that Trump was asking policy advice of Kid Rock. He was asking policy advice. He's like, we're looking at maps and shit. And Kid Rock was like, am I even supposed to be in here, like, looking at this? And then he's asked, what should we do about North Korea? Now, look, it's possible Trump was joking. And, if he was joking, it's like, whatever, who cares, non-issue. But if you're actually looking for policy advice from Kid Rock, that is not a good sign. But yeah, Trump is the ultimate star fucker. One of my more controversial claims about Trump that I made, back during the 2016 election is that I think in Trump's heart of hearts, he viciously goes after Hillary Clinton. He's actually jealous of Hillary Clinton, though, because who is Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton is beloved by the establishment and the elites. Like, and honestly, there's like the only people who like her. Them and like a handful of hardcore resistance liberals, Democratic partisan hacks. So like, Hillary Clinton is beloved by the elites, beloved by the establishment. So many Hollywood stars and musicians and actors came out of the woodwork to support her and did rallies with her, etc. And I think Trump ultimately, he always wanted that approval from the 1%, from the higher-ups. And now Trump delivered, by the way, for the 1% in terms of massive tax cuts and deregulation, so on and so forth, but they never really accepted him on a personal level because he's so, they view him as sort of crass and unsophisticated. But Trump always wanted to be part of that club, struggled to be part of that club, but when he finds the stars who do like him and do support him, man, he loses it, and he's the ultimate star fucker. I'm sure he loves being surrounded by Ted Nugent and Kid Rock and whatever other, John Voight, whatever other right-wing celebrities there are that are like fawning over him. But yeah, ultimately, the reasons why he loves Trump, almost admittedly, have nothing to do with policy, the direction of the country, improving people's lives. It has to do with like, man, this guy's just like us, and he shoots from the hip, and he's authentic, and there's the truthiness feeling to when he talks, and so I'm all in for it. And it goes to show you, it's so easy for people to be taken in by a demagogue. So easy for people to be taken in by a sophist. Somebody who just has that X factor and that aura in the way that they communicate. It's just too easy for human beings to just malfunction and follow the leader in that sense. And I think this is just such a great example of that. So there you go. Kid Rock talking about why he loves Donald Trump. And I'm sure you're not surprised to learn it is not for reasons that really make sense. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.